Hi, good evening all. My name is Mansi More. I'm from Aparavi and I can see my whole team is right here and we all are super excited to welcome you all for tonight's event. I have pleasure to present Aparavi as we specialized in managing unstructured data. We help organizations to tackle the messy data. We make it safe before feeding it to AI. Because let me be very honest, AI is only as trustworthy as its data, and we deliver that trust effortlessly. Let me give you a real world example. This is the real world scenario. Meet Michelle. She's an AI developer working at global company which has around 3,000 employees across 6 different organizations, and she's been asked to build an internal HR chatbot. Pretty simple, right? No, trust me, it's not. Because the company itself has 18 terabytes of unstructured data, which is spread across different resources like Google Spreadsheet or Google Drive or SharePoint. A lot of data is there in those resources, and she has to complete her task within 1 week. Yes, it is very hard because, and now she realized she's not just building a data or she's not just building a chatbot, she is fighting a data jungle. We can think this is easy because she can build a chatbot on no code, low code platform, powerful platform like Langflow. Yes, she can do that. But what about unstructured data, that too in millions of the files? What we're gonna do with that? Because she needs to grab the data from all the resources, organize the data manually, put it all together, classify the confidential information of her employees, anonymize the confidential information, embed it and put it into vector store. Okay, hold on. When I was talking about anonymizing the confidential information, I actually talk about PII. And the people who don't know about PII, it's personal identifiable information. So each and every country follows their protected privacy rules. So for example, United States follows strict social security numbers. On other hand, Australia follows TFN, tax file number. So we have something else for Canada, something else for India, and that's how these privacy data policies works. And if you are running a business, if you are planning to start a business, you should be aware about these privacy protected policies to avoid any confusion or any conflicts for your company. Okay, I'm not done yet because this is not the only step. After manually embedding the data, after storing it into vector data store, the task is to build a chatbot by using that data. It is hard, right? I told you. So that's what the Michelle will work on. But Michelle is not the one. There are around 75 to 80% of enterprise data which is unstructured. That means the files that contains text, audio, video, images has randomly stored anywhere, or it is unstructured. It has no meaning. For that, I guess that is why AI projects hit a wall, because not because the model is bad, because the data is not ready, and this data fuel AI application, Gen AI applications. Whether you are building your tag pipeline or whether you are running your fine tuning models or building your own knowledge base, internal knowledge base system, you need your data to be clean, up to date, and organized. And that's when Aparavi comes in a picture. Aparavi is a visual no-code pipeline builder where you will grab the data from all resources, put them and run through the pipeline. I'll explain you step by step. I started with the data. Just like Michelle, if you also have your organization across multiple countries, of course you have your data in multiple resources. You're going to grab the data, extract and parse it through the node. You can use features from Aparavi. For example, you can grab the data from images and videos. You can summarize the text. You can use your own fingerprint for the data content file, so that if you don't want your data to be visible for anyone in the company or for AI, you can use audio transcribe, apply LLM logic, embed and put it into vector store. Is it looking complex pipeline? Yes, it is, but you don't have to do anything because you're going to drag the node here, fill the information and hit the pipeline. And Aparavi itself will do all the process. And that's when Aparavi will help and makes it easy for Michelle to build her pipeline or build her chatbot for her company. That's what we're going to do here today. She will grab the information from multiple resources. Aparavi will extract and pass the data. Aparavi itself will clean, mask, organize that data, embed it and store it into vector store. And ta-da! Your vector data set, your data information is ready, safe, secure to feed it into Chatbot. That's what we're gonna do today. But before diving into the pipeline, I want you guys know how our Aparavi dashboard works, how we build our pipelines on the dashboard, and I want Dylan to explain that with a simple pipeline.
All right, let's build a pipeline. So I'm going to start at the base of Aparavi UI. The first thing we're going to do is start a new project. As you can see here, we have a bunch of pre-configured pipelines, super easy to use and super good at getting you started on your journey to clean data. To start one, all you have to do is click in, configure a couple nodes, and then press start. But for this, we're going to create a project from blank. So I want to point you guys to all of our nodes. We have tons of sources, we have tons of large language models, we have tons of storage, and we also have tons of ways to pre-process your data. With all of these nodes, there are thousands of combinations of pipelines you can build and endless use cases that you could solve. For this, we are going to help Michelle deal with her sensitive data problem. We're going to start by using our source as our drag and drop node. This is super quick and easy and great for a demo. So from here, you might think that you don't know what to do. We make it super easy by telling you exactly what nodes can take input from our drag and drop. For this, I'm going to use our simple data parser. Next, all you have to do is connect the node. From here, it's useful to understand what kind of data you're taking in. For our demo, we are using this with a bank account number and a contact. So we're giving text to our classification node. Our classification node is configurable to recognize what kind of data we want to look at and what kind of data we want to anonymize. So for this use case, we're going to use United States, and we're going to take away that so we can still see names. And in general finance, we're going to include the bank account number policy. Now all we have to do is connect text to text. All right, so now what? We now need to include our anonymized node. We are going to take our classifications, pass them to our anonymized node. Right here, you can see it is just going to cover it in a black box. You can use any character you'd like, but we're going to go with the default. Now, all we have to do is connect our text to our text and anonymize, which will feed the document to the text along with the classified information. With this, all there's left to do is use our HTTP response node to visualize how this is getting processed. So I'm going to move this over here, connect text to text, and we're going to run the pipeline. Oops. Let's save it. Here we go. Alrighty, missing an API key. Submit that as well. All right, so let's not forget to save our nodes. Here we go. Okay, so now that it's running, yep, here we go. We got a pipeline running. Okay, while this is running, I want to point out that our HTTP results node is super helpful in understanding the output and seeing it firsthand. But we have plenty of ways for you to store your data. Vector stores, we can also give it back to all of these sources and whatnot. So we're going to come in here and we're going to go into our dropper UI and we're going to give it that sample document. Here we go. We love the Wi-Fi. Yeah. Guest is just fantastic.
Have you given it the data yet, or is that later?
The data is going to be right here. Okay. Yep. So we're uploading it right now as it's processing. I'm going to show you guys how you can get an Aparavi API key. Super simple. We're going to our usage portal. We're going to go to API keys, and all it is just generate a new API key. But by now, nope, okay, here we go. Mancy, nice. Create an API key, we're going to copy that, and that would go straight into our pipeline. And here you can see the text that we had right here without the bank account number and the phone number. We got names, and we don't have a phone number, and we don't have a bank account number. And that is exactly how this works. So this is an example of a super simple pipeline, but as Mancy's about to show you, there are plenty of more use cases, and there are plenty more complex pipelines that can get way more jobs done and solve awesome problems.
Thank you so much, Dylan. That was the perfect explanation. As we saw the sample pipeline for classifying the confidential information and how to hide it from data, from AI, let's just dive into the version 2 of our pipeline, which will be helpful for Michelle to secure her data before feeding it to unauthorized user or LLM. So as I mentioned, she has data in like multiple resources. That's what we're gonna do here today. Even if you have data in multiple resources, you can grab the source node. We have 15 plus nodes here. You can grab your source node, put the data, and as you can see, you can gather all data together just on one platform. Then parsing it, classification here, we are using additional classification, one for US branch and second for Australia branch. So we're gonna have the employee information of US branch and Australia one. Then we're gonna anonymize it and we'll store the anonymized data, which means hidden confidential information, inside the vector store. But as we know, before feeding any data to vector store, we need to pre-process it and embed it. So that's what we're gonna do today. We have preprocessor nodes, preprocessor chunky, preprocessor LLM. So basically it split your text into chunks. So when I say chunks, it means it will split your text into smaller pieces, which will contain the similar information. That's what we are doing here today. And LLM OpenAI, we are invoking the LLM here. We are using OpenAI, but we do have multiple LLM options. We have Gemini, Anthropic, we have other LLM support platforms, which is Amazon Bedrock, we have Ollama, we have Vertex AI. Feel free to use those LLM nodes. Then we're gonna embed it and store it into vector store. Again, don't forget to put the collection name here, because for this pipeline, I'm going to store the data set into Aparavi US collection, and this will be on Aparavi Australia collection. And again, just like LLM, we do have options for vector stores. We have Vivian, we have Pinecone, we have Milvus, we have Chroma. Here we used Quadrant, and you're going to see host and API key information on Quadrant's vector store. When we run the pipeline, you can see the collection which has been created on vector store. Let's just go and hit Australia, Aparavi US or Australia. So you can see that our information, which is employees information, is hidden. And right now we have our data which is safe. We have information like, for example, if my name is Mansi Mure, my SSN is 123 blah 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 blah, and vector store or Aparavi will hide my SSN number, which means vector data set or AI will only see name Mansi More, SSN number star 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 star, and that's what we do with Aparavi. Now we have our data ready, which is secured. Now it's time to build a chatbot and help Michelle in her task. So this is the Langflow platform. And we have Qdent node, vector store node here. We're going to fill the information, same information which we fed here, because we need the same collection name to fetch the data. We fed the collection name with proper host API key. We're going to connect the nodes to the agent. Here we have agent. I gave instruction to agents. Put API key, and this is our chatbot. I'm going to ask questions to chatbot like, don't fall. Hey, give me details of new hire from both the branches. So basically, we have information of employees from US and Australia branch, as I told you. And now I'm asking question to chatbot to give me new hire details from both the branches. Let's see. And here is my agent. Hey, wow, that was quick. It is giving me the information in anonymized format. Like I explained, we can see first name, last name, position, hire date, but contact SSN address is hidden, and that's what Aparavi do. This is the magical platform where we hide the confidential information and the information which you don't want to feed to AI, because obviously you don't want to give any personal information to unauthorized users. And that's how we helped Michelle to do her frustrated finish in a 1 week task in 1 day. And now she did not just build a chatbot, she built a trusted chatbot. And if that's the reason why we all should try Aparavi. And Aparavi, if you want to build any AI tools on the top of chaotic data, don't struggle. Just start with clean data, start with unstructured data, start with Aparavi. And thank you so much for listening to us, guys. You have a good evening. Thank you.